Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Daily Meditation Online, hosted by the Buddhist Studies Institute, founded by Pema Khandro Rinpoche. During the season of practice, which runs from November 1st until Losar of the Tibetan New Year, which is usually sometime in February, we will have daily meditation online every day at the same time, 12 p.m. Pacific, and it will be live streamed daily to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. You are welcome to join us any day or every day. We're so happy you're joining us today. My name is Namkai. I'm in Nevada City, California, and I'm the host today. Today, Satya will lead a 20-minute meditation practice, after which I will read one of the 5 Buddhist precepts so that we can integrate the study of ethics with practice. And after that, there will be a members only kind of for those on Zoom. We will be able to have an optional discussion time, but that won't be live streamed. So the live stream ends with the ethics practice. We're so happy with you to have you with us here today. And now I will turn it over to Satya, who is a certified meditation instructor through the Buddhist Studies Institute. Thank you, Satya.
Thank you, Namkai, and welcome everyone to all of our participants, whether live now in Zoom or YouTube or Facebook, or watching the recording later at a time that works for them, and also meditating along with us across time and space. How wonderful. My name is Satya. I'm one of the directors of the Buddhist Studies Institute and also one of the facilitators of our meditation instructor training program, which all of our teachers here are either certified teachers from that program, or they are teachers in training. So we will be having that program start again in January. The next cohort comes in from January 21st to July 16th of next year. So anyone out there who is wanting to be a meditation teacher, 2023, it's possible. All right, welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with just sitting upright and finding our seat. And we're going to start by opening with our daily prayers, which are more the traditional prayers in our Tibetan Buddhist practice we will do today. So starting with refuge and raising our enlightened intent, or bodhicitta. And there's a link in the content for you if you'd like to follow along with those prayers. You can begin by bringing your palms together, thumbs at the sternum. I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. I take refuge in the Lama, Yidam, and Khandro. I take refuge in the channels, winds, centers, and their nature, the bodhicitta. I take refuge in complete openness, lucid presence, and compassion. Mesmerized by the sheer variety of appearances, which are like the illusory reflections of the moon and water. Beings wander endlessly astray in samsara's vicious cycle, in order that they may find comfort and ease in the luminosity and the all-pervading space of the true nature of their minds. I generate the immeasurable love, compassion, joy, and equanimity of the awakened mind, the heart of bodhicitta. Sentient beings are numberless. I train in order to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I train in order to transform them. Reality is boundless. I train in order to realize it. The awakened way is unsurpassable. I train in order to embody it. And so we'll begin with a little somatic practice. We'll start with the 9 purifications today. So you'll want to sit up as straight as you can, if that's comfortable for you today. Otherwise, find a seat and posture that is comfortable for you so you can be at ease. That's the most important part of our practice. So first, we want to go ahead and visualize our central channel. Right in the center of the body, running from the root all the way to the crown. And we can imagine that that channel is about the size of our pinky and radiant blue in color. Next to that channel are 2 smaller channels, red and white. And if you're great at visualization, then we'll just hold that visualization throughout this 9 purifications practice. And so we'll begin by first waking up the channels. So the way this is done is to simply just make sure every part of the body gets either tapped or just rubbed, whatever's more comfortable today for you, tapping or touching or rubbing, but we're just going to tap down and up the arms, down the chest and the sides. We're going to get our legs inside the legs, outside the legs, down to the feet if we can, backs of the calves. Just want to make sure everything gets nice and touched, stimulating those channels, waking up every cell in our body. So we're going to go up the back. And if we can, we're going to tap those shoulders and the back of the neck. And then when we get to the head, we can use our fingertips and tap that head, all the head channels, even onto the face and eyes, cheeks, cheekbones, the throat. And then we're going to end with squeezing those ears, massaging those ears out. Maybe unrolling the fold a little bit, giving ourselves a little wake up. And then from here, we're getting back into our upright posture, imagining our 3 channels in the center of the body. And then from here, we're going to extend our Vajra fist. So Vajra fist is made by taking the thumb to the base of the ring finger, closing the fingers down over it. All right, so that left Vajra fist extends out. Right Vajra fist is going to come into the armpit, but first we're going to get our fist nice and hot. So make heat. I'm going to rub them together until they're nice and hot. And then we'll take the Vajra fist, extend the left arm, right fist comes down into the armpit, and we close that arm over it. Now, this left index finger blocks the right nostril, and we inhale through the left. And we're going to switch sides, exhale through the right nostril. We'll do this 3 times on each side. So inhaling left. And exhaling right. One more time, inhale. Exhaling. And at the end of that exhale, we can exhale a little further. And then we're going to take those Vajra fists, slide them down and press them into the front of the hip bones. Good. So we're going to move to the other side now, making heat again. Rubbing those palms together, making some heat. Once they're nice and hot, you're going to take your Vajra fist, extend the right arm, and bring that left fist all the way down into the armpit and close it down. Now we take that right index finger and block the left nostril. Inhale through the right. Switch sides, exhale left. When we inhale, we can imagine ourselves bringing in luminous light through that right nostril. Seeing it purify our channels, and as we exhale any obscurations as clouds of smoke. One more time, inhaling luminosity. Exhaling our obscurations all the way out. Exhale a little further at the end. And then we'll slide that Vajra fist to press in front of the hip bones. And sitting up tall, inhale now through both nostrils. Exhaling through both. Inhaling luminosity. Exhaling any ignorance or closed-mindedness as clouds of smoke. One more time, inhaling white luminous light. Exhaling any last traces of our dis-ease or obscurations. As clouds of smoke, seeing our channels become clear and radiant. And at the end here, we're going to keep the breath out and fold forward over those Vajra fists. So those fists press into the hip bones. And we'll see if we can just relax here with the breath held in the out position. And then when it's time to inhale again, we'll inhale coming up. And coming back to our natural breath. Just taking a notice of body and mind after that somatic inner yoga practice. Before we enter into our calm abiding practice for the day, we're going to just make sure our seat is correct. So if we're on the floor, we want to be ideally up on a cushion so that the hips are higher than the knees, with a little forward tilt on the pelvis so the belly can be relaxed and that the hips can be nice and open. And next, we'll imagine our spine nice and tall and one vertebra stacked on the next, almost like a stack of coins all the way up to the crown. The navel can just gently come in towards the spine, not in an extreme way, but gently. Widen through the collarbones and through the shoulders, allowing the arms to hang down at the sides. And the palms are resting into the lap. And so today, if you need to wake up a little bit, if you're feeling a little dull, then the palms will be face up on the thighs. If you're feeling like you need some grounding, then the palms can be face down on the thighs. Also, you can always take the gesture of equanimity, which is one palm in the other in the lap. We'll tuck the chin ever so slightly back, lengthening the neck. Tongue is just right behind the front teeth, touching the roof of the mouth. Lips slightly parted. And then our eyes. So our eyes remain open during the practice. So in these Vajrayana practices, we live our life, a lot of our life with our eyes open. We engage in the world with our eyes open. And so we practice raising our awareness with our eyes open. However, the placement of the eyes today for our calm abiding practice will be downwards. So a couple feet ahead of us, you can rest your gaze at a point on the floor or just in front of you where it's naturally falling. And without staring, we'll just let our gaze be gentle there. Today, we're going to engage in one of the 5 calm abiding practices. This one is Om, Ah, and Hung. So these sounds are seed syllables that we will make that sound internally. So we're not chanting it, but we're hearing it and making the sound internally. On the inhale, we'll sound Om. And then at the top of the breath, there's just a slight pause or turn. And at that point, we sound Ah. And on the exhale, Hung. Inhaling Om. On the pause, Ah. And exhaling Hung. And just continue in this way. Now, if at any point you become distracted or notice that we're no longer engaged with the Om, Ah, and Hung, or following the breath, no problem. Perfect time for our awareness to shift our attention back to the present breath, and we'll just start over. Inhaling Om at the top of the breath, Ah, and exhaling Hung. So we'll start that now, and I'll come and give us some gentle reminders in between. So we're practicing Om on the inhale internally, Ah at the top of the breath, and Hum on the exhale. And if we become distracted or we find we're no longer attentive to that method, no problem. We gently come back to the present breath, inhaling Om at the pause, Ah, and on the exhale, Hum. And we can notice our mind and then make a transition from the method. We'll go ahead and stop the Om, Ah, and Hum. And we'll just sit here in our open awareness. So just a formless meditation for a minute or two. Nice. And so we'll take a couple of longer breaths, taking a nice long inhale and then doubling the length of the exhale, expelling any stale air. I'll do that a few times. And then we'll close our practice with a dedication. So you can go ahead and bring the palms together, the center of the chest, and we take our last moments together, offering the merit generated from our time, our practice, our willingness, and our awareness to benefit all beings. May the teachings of the Buddha spread and flourish. May all sentient beings be happy and joyful. May we practice the Dharma day and night, and may the benefits for ourselves and others be fully accomplished. We bow. I want to thank you for joining in practice today, and I will hand us back to our kind host, Namkai.
Thank you for leading us in meditation today, Dr. Satya. And now, as part of our effort to integrate the study of ethics with meditation practice, I will read one of the 5 Buddhist precepts. If you want to follow along, all of the precepts are in the link that was posted earlier. Today, I will read precept number 2, avoiding taking what has not been given. I avoid taking what is not freely given. I exert to avoid depriving others through my presence in this world, to avoid exploitation of others, and to avoid squandering resources. I avoid misusing the time and generosity of others. I avoid misusing my authority or status, and I respect the autonomy, needs, and rights of others. I avoid robbing others of meaning and value by respecting others' perspectives and religious beliefs. I avoid taking advantage of others' generosity in laziness or carelessness. I exert to educate myself on issues of racism, sexual abuse, colonialism, environmental destruction, animal cruelty, and other issues of exploitation in order to use my time and my life to further respect the dignity of myself, others, and the earth. I take responsibility to help when help is needed, helping according to my capacity. I resolve to be a giver more than a taker. I commit myself to contribute generously to everything I am connected to. I bring the spirit of service, sharing, giving, forgiving, and inclusivity to my activities. Recognizing the innate richness in myself and others, I try to live in a gracious attitude of hospitality and altruism. Thank you again, Satya, for leading us today in meditation. Thank you, everybody, for being here with us on the weekend to meditate. You can find more about our upcoming programs as an institution at BuddhistStudiesInstitute.org. And if you'd like, you can look at our pictures of our retreat center, dakinimountain.org, which is in Northern California. And if you'd like, you can make a donation. This meditation happens daily online with certified meditation instructors of the Buddhist Studies Institute. You're welcome to attend any day or every day. I will end the live stream now for our Facebook and YouTube participants, and then we will hang back and chat with our members about the precept. Bye.